us move on to 314, Chancellor's reports.
Now let me unmute myself. So I'm going to put our presidents, I didn't see them on the panelist, and maybe that's just a limit that I have on my system, but they are here. And I know that Dr. Nathaniel Jones III was celebrating his daughter's graduation, so he is not here. So I would ask that Augustine Gill, who is the Vice President of Administrative Services, would start with the report for College of Alameda. And then we would go to Merritt College, followed by Berkeley City College, and then bringing up the end would be Laney College and Dr. Besikof. So I will turn it over to you, Dr. Gill.
Thank you, Chancellor. Good evening, President Reese, trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues, and guests. It's an honor and my pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm pleased to provide this report for the College of Alameda on Dr. Jones' behalf. We have had several exciting events in May and June, and one of them was a trip to CSU Sacramento and UC Davis by a group of 24 Peralta students, faculty, and staff. And although originally organized as an opportunity for College of Alameda students, an invitation was extended to all Peralta students to participate. This was an exploratory trip, and the participating Peralta students learned about the outstanding amenities and educational opportunities that the universities offered. The visit inspired a greater interest in transfer and new hope for the next phase of their college education. And I would like to congratulate our team of COA Student Services Specialists, Ms. Mayra Arevalo Aipong, Mr. Horacio Corona Lira, Programs Director for Puente, and Project Manager, Mr. Louis Martires McFarlane, and the Next Up Staff Assistant, Ms. Nessie Moore, for organizing this trip and putting everything together. This was a huge success for our students. And the next event I would like to highlight, and I was personally involved with that, I was present there, and that was the College of Alameda's Puente program, which celebrated its inaugural Puente banquet dinner on Wednesday, May 18th. This event celebrated the personal and academic accomplishments of Puente students and their families. And one of the highlights was that Dean Lily Aselhe was honored as Puente champion for 2021, and Marcine Bryant was honored as Puente champion for 2022. Both honorees were recognized for their outstanding commitment and contributions to College of Alameda's Puente program and students. And what I would like to share is remarks by one of the graduating students who was a gentleman in their 40s and has 3 jobs, but with the support and encouragement of our faculty and other staff, he got encouraged to complete his degree in 2 years' time. Even though he was working three jobs, he was tired in the evenings, was not sure if he could complete his assignments on time and graduate, but got all the support he needed and struggled through all the challenges to graduate. It was only possible because of our faculty and staff. He had tears in his eyes, and he was encouraging other prospective students to not give up and seek education based on whatever it takes. I would also like to add that families of our students deserve a big credit as they support their loved ones through those tough times. They sacrifice a lot and together accomplish amazing results. We're therefore very proud of our students, their families, faculty, and staff who make all this happen. And I would like to make 2 general announcements towards the end. The College of Alameda will be holding a financial aid popcorn and soda special on Wednesday, June 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in front of the A building. Current and prospective students and their parents are invited. This event will provide a great opportunity for students to receive assistance with any financial aid questions and complete their FAFSA Dream Act applications. In addition, there will be plenty of popcorn, soda, fun games, and a raffle prize. Lastly, we are delighted to welcome Ms. Yolanda Young, who has joined the Administrative Services Division as the college's new full-time bursar. This concludes my report for the College of Alameda. Thank you.
All right, great job. So, okay. So good evening, President Napoli Reese, trustees, chancellor, colleagues, community members. Tonight, I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to our Director of Student Activities and Campus Life, Ms. Doris Hankins, as well as the rest of her planning team for all of their work for the virtual commencement and the campus celebration. Now, it's already been mentioned by Donald Moore, as a student observation, that the in-person graduation event ultimately drew several hundred students, friends, and family members to Merritt, which was a far greater turnout than we had initially anticipated. But in the end, I think the event really underscored how eager our students are for genuine connection and the opportunity to celebrate their accomplishments. The graduates were treated to remarks by our ASMC president and now two-time PCCD student trustee, Lisa Hogan. And we were fortunate to also have Oakland Council member Lauren Taylor, trustee Linda Handy, trustee Kevin Jenkins, and Chancellor Jackson in attendance as well. So all in all, it was a huge undertaking, but I think the day could not have gone better. 2 weeks ago, several of our Merritt team members had the opportunity to attend the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity, or NCORE, which was held up in Portland. Now, the conference, I've been told, was offered a very welcoming and inclusive environment while emphasizing the importance of educators modeling a learning setting that was free of all forms of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. That's very important because we want to model that at Merritt College. So specifically, our team's objective was to hone in on how Merritt could create and sustain comprehensive institutional approaches to improve the racial and ethnic relations on our campus. So we look forward to doing that work and committed to availing ourselves of the tools and resources that the team will share and help implement at the college. Now, as we kick off the summer 2022 term, yesterday was the first day of summer school, I want to end with a quick snapshot of our enrollments. This is hot off the press. So as of this afternoon, our summer school resident FTES stood at 305.84. To put that in some context, that's nearly 87% of our target, our FTS target. Now we have a couple of classes that are going to be starting in a week, a couple other classes that were closed, but are being opened up for cohorts. So we anticipate that that number is going to approach 100%. Just as a note, we kept a number of lower enrolled sections, more than a dozen actually, kept those in the schedule as a result of student or program need. And we've even added a few sections to meet student demand where it was necessary. And finally, just be on the lookout, the publication EdSource is running a feature on Merritt College because we were one of the few community colleges in the state to actually have increased our headcount from fall 2020 and fall 2021. So that means in the midst of the pandemic, we actually had more students attending Merritt than we did the previous year. So with that, I'll say everybody have a good night, and I'll turn it over to President Garcia.
Thank you so much. Good evening, President Napoli Reese, trustees, chancellor, colleagues, and community members. For the BCC, in addition to the BCC report that you had in your packet, I just wanted to share a couple of highlights. And the first is really wanting to echo the sentiments of President Johnson and thank the BCC classified professionals and administrators for hosting a wonderful celebration for our graduates on Friday, May 27th. We were up at Merritt College, and so I actually also want to extend my thanks to your team at Merritt College for hosting us and assisting us. But most importantly, for just the chance to see students, the chance to celebrate with them, for them to put a culmination kind of end exclamation point to their time, not just at Berkeley City College, but throughout the system. There may have been 1 or 3 students from some of the other colleges that decided to come hang out and take pictures with us as well. So we were happy to have it be a family event. As President Johnson indicated, summer school has started this week, and so it has been really exciting to see students, faculty, and classified professionals on campus. Just today, I had the privilege of connecting with some students over the last couple of days, getting to admissions and records, financial aid, getting to the one-stop counseling, and even assisting a new faculty member who joined us during the pandemic. And this was her very first day on campus teaching on the 3rd floor. So having a chance to just reconnect with some folks. Our enrollment, we are just above 82% of our targets. And so we're looking forward to continuing to increase those throughout this next week. So I just want to remind the community that we are open for summer schedule and ready to assist students to enroll. Part of those efforts included that we welcomed 60 Berkeley High students on June 13th, so just yesterday, from the Berkeley Adults Work Programs, an opportunity for students to enroll in courses this summer and launch their pathway into higher education. And I'd like to thank faculty member Dr. Joya Chavrin for her leadership and coordination of this to truly make us a place where our local Berkeley High students continue to see BCC as a part of their educational journey. As shared in the classified Senate report earlier, there were 4 Berkeley City College colleagues, Andrea Williams, Gail Pendleton, Michael Alviar, and Dominique Prince, who attended the Classified Leadership Institute. I'm grateful for their leadership and looking forward to supporting their efforts as a classified Senate. One of the examples that was shared earlier was undertaking possibly the Caring Campus Initiative. So we're looking forward to supporting our classified professionals through their efforts. And I believe it was last year around this time that I shared with you all that we had a governance retreat. And so for the second time, we're now officially calling it an annual governance retreat, as it's going to get codified as such. Last Thursday, June 9th, we had governance chairs and co-chairs across faculty, classified professionals, and administrators come together for this annual retreat. It's a time where we review the surveys of our self-evaluation, the results of the survey. We addressed and looked at our revised governance manual, where we were able to codify spaces where there had been either working groups or ad hoc committees or advisory committees. And if they had gone through the governance process to become codified as such, we're making all of those live edits and really truly trying to map out what is the local decision-making process, how are we supporting from the college to the district. So we're excited to be rolling out that manual and continuing the work of participatory and shared governance. What I'm most thankful for were some of the discussions. We had some very intense and rich discussions on the roles of privilege and power and communication and race and racial equity in these spaces. And I feel like it was a time to really learn from one another. So in closing, I do want to wish all colleagues and community members who celebrate Father's Day a joyous time with their loved ones this weekend. I'd also like to acknowledge our LGBTQIA+ colleagues and community members during what is Pride Month right now. May you know that our community is bright and rich because of the diversity and engagement and presence that you bring. And lastly, of course, we know that on June 19th, we celebrate Juneteenth to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. And while it's recognized as a national holiday, I hope we can all reflect on how our society has much to still grow to address reparations to the harm that our country's history has imposed upon African-American members of our community. So I wish you all a healthy and safe weekend. And that concludes my report for Berkeley City College. Thank you.
Good evening, Chancellor Jackson, President Napoli Abella Reese, members of the governing board, colleagues in education, valued students, and treasured members of our community. The written board report you received tonight was kind of the graduation edition, if you will, of the Laney College Board Report, and touched on the great interactive graduation ceremony we had on May 27th in the athletics parking lot at Laney College. It was really an event where there were no bodies in seats. People came to the proceedings, and basically graduates and their families and friends and supporters, and in a lot of cases, classified professionals and professors who supported them along the way, walked through a parade route, if you will, where they were cheered on by Laney College employees, and then had opportunities for things such as selfies and other opportunities along the way before coming to the graduation platform and posing for photos. There was definitely no passive listening, if you will, going on during these festivities, and it was a great event. Certainly, I think of the many Laney College employees who contributed to this happening, and especially want to recognize Director Atia Rashada, as well as Evelyn Moreno in the Student Life Office. But also think of a number of great employees such as Mr. Alejandro Acosta, who spoke during public comment, who really kind of spearheaded a lot of the great music and the festive air that was about us, and it was outstanding. And of course, our celebration also was not complete without the attendance of Chancellor Jackson, as well as Trustee Handy. So all around, it was a great event, and one we certainly will remember for a while. Also, there were some other in-person events celebrating graduation among our learning communities on campus. Our Puente program continues to grow, and to Laura Gomez Contreras and the other staff members who contributed to that completion ceremony, we are certainly appreciative. And then last Friday, we also had the pleasure of celebrating, 2 Fridays ago, the Gateway to College graduation event. And that one was held in the Laney College Bistro. And it was really neat to see those students earn their high school diplomas, but do so with coursework that included Laney College transfer courses such as English. And then also to see those students take initiative for their coursework, to take classes such as poli-sci, geography, anthropology, and history. It was a great event attended not only by graduates, but also by families and friends. And among the 11 or so Gateway to College staff, I think they were like family and friends to these graduates. And that was something that was truly inspiring to see. Many of these students will continue at Laney College and Berkeley City College, and certainly want to extend congratulations to them as they move forward. One individual to spotlight in this program of Gateway to College is Dr. William Ramos Ochoa. And if you happen to be awake at 2 a.m. tomorrow or at 2 p.m. and tune in to 96.9 FM, KGPC, I interviewed Dr. Ramos Ochoa as part of my podcast, and that will be on the air. And then you can also, it's also archived, and you will be able to download and listen to it at your leisure. So it's something that was really great, and certainly want to say thank you to Felicia Bridges with KGPC for her support as we've kind of moved along in this project of the President's Desk podcast for Laney College. So, excuse me. Finally tonight, I think this is the first time I've ever done a board report with a handout. And I've already given one to President Napoli Bellaris, as well as Trustee Withrow, and I'll have a copy as well for Chancellor Jackson and members of the board. And you've often heard me say in previous reports that at Laney, when we come together and work on things, that great stuff happens. And so our graphic arts program, the great faculty in that department had a capstone project. And one thing that's wonderful about career and technical education and a lot of disciplines that work on project-based learning is that there is that capstone project, that culminating project that happens. Well, students in the graphic arts program, through digital and also handwritten design or sketch design, came together with a number of different designs for what's known as the Laney's Cookin' Cookbook. And that is actually what I've handed to you today. And I think it's something that's really neat. And the students who contributed to this were enrolled in Graphic Arts 112, which is Creative Processes and Solutions. Now, you might be saying, okay, graphic arts all well and good, but what about the coming together? Well, in addition to thanking the many students in Graphic Arts 112, as well as the faculty in the Graphic Arts Department, classified professionals, faculty, and administrators came together to contribute recipes from cosmetology, legal and community interpreting, the Dean of Humanities and Social Science, Laney Health Services, the library staff, culinary arts, of course, if it's cookbook, right? The counseling department, English for speakers of other languages, as well as the music department. All of these fine colleagues, as well as some students in the graphic arts class, all contributed recipes. And you can see, looking at this, that you will have access to a 5-course meal if you are so inclined. So again, just want to say thanks to the many individuals who brought this together, and special commendation to our graphic arts colleagues who really came up with a great creative project that really showed off the best of our students as well as our colleagues. And with that tonight, I will conclude my report.
Thank you, Presidents. Just before I turn it back over to you, President Reese, I want to congratulate Dr. Donald Moore for his reelection as the District Academic Senate President. Look forward to working with him. We did have a very productive meeting with all the Academic Senate presidents, the Vice President of Instruction at the colleges, as well as the presidents and key district office staff. And the discussion centered around the resurrection of the Dempsey Committee, which is the District Enrollment Management Committee. So what Donald was talking about is the commitment in the fall of resurrecting that particular committee, getting members assigned to it, and then really looking at our FTES, our goals, and establishing that collaborative working environment that he referenced. So just wanted to say congratulations again and happy Juneteenth for everyone out there. And I will turn it back over to you. That concludes our presentation.
Thank you, Chancellor Jackson. Can you hear me okay? You are going to be so jealous because I have in my hand this wonderful cookbook that you are just going to be very amazed at. Just a few things again to the presidents, because I love hearing what you always have to say every time we have a board meeting. Congratulations again for the incredible celebrations. 2 of them I was able to attend, the other 2 I was not. But again, a shout out to all of you, also Director Rodrigo and his team over at TOA, Atia Rashado, as you had said, and her team over at Laney, Doris Henkin and her team over at Merritt, and Veronica Montaya and John Nguyen over at BCC, because these were fabulous celebrations. And as you were saying, it was a wonderful way to actually see the authenticity of connection that our students so very much desire. So congratulations. And again, just thank you for all of the things that you continue to do. Keep on keeping on, because it's fabulous for us to hear at our end. All right, now let us go on to 4.1.